SGC is absolutely killing it right now. But there may be a few things that we need to be mindful of and talk about. So let's get into it. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. I haven't done a dedicated video on SGC in a while. It's been a minute. Just because I kind of feel like they've been doing a really good job of, not only, I don't want to say promoting themselves, but they definitely have been doing a great job of kicking ass, in my opinion. They've been doing really good in terms of, turnaround times and, some really big stuff going on in the market recently. Later on this week, at some point, I'm going to do a video talking about, the price disparity again between PSA and SGC. It's something that I always like to talk about a lot because it seems to be the number one, kind of the number one thing about SGC is that they don't bring the same resale price as PSA, which is true to an extent. So we'll get into a little bit of the numbers on that stuff later. But what I do want to talk about a little bit is kind of their current state in terms of deliveries from what I can see. I've been talking to a lot of folks, several of you through DMs and Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff. And many of you have been sending me your experiences with SGC, whether you're submitting through a group submitter or whether you're submitting directly. And what's coming back a lot recently is, how SGC is doing so well in terms of turnaround times. And, several of you are experiencing 5 days, even 7 to 10 days, 5 days, door to door. We're talking calendar days here. Which from a delivery standpoint, that's amazing, right? For us, the consumers, that's amazing. And everybody's really happy about that. I mean, nobody, maybe CSG, I really don't know kind of how they're doing in terms of turnaround times. I have to do a little bit digging on that. So if any of you have CSG orders out there that are coming back, that you've sent out and have come back, let me know kind of what your experience has been down in the comments, or if you want to hit me on Instagram. But I'm not really sure kind of what they've been doing as far as delivery times. But I know from what everybody's been telling me, SGC has been killing it in terms of turnaround. I'll have to go and check, but I think their $30 price point, I believe their $30 price point is advertised at, what is their $30 price point? It's 20 to 25 days. And that's for value up to, I'll put it up right here. That's for value up to $1,500. So they're talking about 20 to 25 days, estimated business days. And several of you are getting your cards back in 10 to 15 calendar days. 25 business days can be up to a month and a week. So roughly 4 weeks in a month. So about a month, 30 to 37 days, calendar days. And you guys are experiencing 10 calendar day turnarounds, door to door, including shipping there, shipping back. Actually, I had somebody reach out to me and say, hey, man, I sent my cards. They arrived on the 16th. They started grading them on the 17th. And by the 18th, they were already in post, processing or verification or whatever the case may be. Some of the last steps in the grading process, which, again, amazing turnaround times and a great job done by the folks over at SGC. So now here's kind of where I'm going to turn on the other side and look at it from a different perspective. So I just, from a collector's standpoint, from me personally, that I can send my cards and get them back in 10, 15 calendar days, amazing. I'm absolutely happy about that. So now here, the other side of things is those of you that have been following the channel for quite some time, y'all know that my day job is inventory management, supply chain, business management, order management, and kind of manufacturing capacity management. That's what I do for a living. And so when I look at what's going on with SGC from that lens, it's a little bit, I don't want to say it's concerning, but it's a little bit of a different story, I'll say. Because one of the things that I always try to maintain in all of my manufacturing facilities is what's called a healthy backlog. Okay. And a healthy backlog, I know that sounds like a kind of a, that it shouldn't go together, right? But a healthy backlog is a good thing, because what it means is that you have enough work to sustain your current organization, your current manufacturing capacity, or your current headcount. And what concerns me a little bit about what's going on with SGC is that at the moment, based on their turnaround times and nothing more, it doesn't seem like they have a very healthy backlog. And it seems like they're turning around things much quicker than they should be. And when I say than they should be, it's because from a business standpoint. So let me explain a little bit. If you tell your customers that it takes you 2 months from the moment that you receive the order to the moment that you ship out their product, it takes 2 months, then you should have roughly about 3 to 4 months worth of backlog, about 3 months worth of backlog, roughly. And the reason why you should have that is because you should have enough headcount to be able to put out at a rate that you are shipping orders within 2 months. Okay. So that is kind of like everything is in sync at that point. You're telling your customers that you are shipping in 2 months. They're giving you orders. You have the headcount and the capacity that is putting out orders in 2 months, and everything's in sync, right? Everybody's happy because the customer gets what you're promising. You have an organization that is putting out at that pace, and then you have enough of a backlog to sustain you for that amount of time. Based on that backlog, on where you are in that backlog, you make adjustments to one of those two things. Either you tell your customers that you're shipping faster, right? Because your backlog is smaller, your organization is really efficient and is cranking stuff out at a very high rate, so your backlog is smaller. Or you tell your customer, you maintain your backlog where it is, and then you make your organization smaller. That's kind of where layoffs and things like that, downsizing, that's corporate crap. That's kind of where that comes into play. And so even though from a consumer side, it's great that SGC is almost beating their delivery times by 10%. I mean, it's cutting them basically in a third, right? Because if they're advertising about 30 to 37 calendar days, but you're getting it in 10 to 15 calendar days, that's great for us. But for me, I see that as maybe SGC has too many people and they're running extremely efficiently, or they have a small group of people they're running extremely efficiently, but their backlog is not that big. So I don't think SGC has that big of a backlog based on what I've seen from the turnaround times and all that stuff. So one of the things that I wanted to share was this gem rate data that I found on, and you guys should follow if you're into this kind of stuff, grading analytics and all that stuff. Gem rate is a great place to check out. So I'll throw it up right here. For the month of July, SGC dropped by the amount of cards that they're putting out by 46%. So I don't know what they're doing in terms of like headcount and stuff. I don't know if they're reducing headcount, but that's a pretty significant drop in your output, because just previously in the month of July, which I'll throw that up here, they were up by 5%. So to be up by 5% one month and then to be down by 46% the next month. Again, this is all pending that this is all accurate. That's a pretty significant swing in the numbers. That's a little bit concerning. So I'll throw up this other one here. This one's for May, where they were up 2%. And then March they were up 26%. So in 26%, they were doing 103 a month. April, they were doing 94,000 a month. So that was, down a couple percentage points, but still 96% in May. That's pretty stable numbers as you're getting there, right? I mean, up, down 9%, up 2%. You're kind of hovering, right? You're at a plateau, and then June up 5%. So they're still kind of hovering between that plus 10, minus 10, where they're pretty stable. And then all of a sudden, a huge drop in minus 46% from June to July. Again, just a little bit uneasy in terms of the numbers, but. Listen, once again, I'm telling you guys this, but at the same time, I think if any organization within this space, this grading space, has shown to be, from a business standpoint, the most astute group of people within this space, within this grading space, it's been SGC. Peter and his team, I think, will do what needs to be done from a business standpoint. Again, I'm giving you guys kind of a business analysis on this, but what they're doing ultimately is basically giving the best deliveries possible. And I have no doubt that going forward, whatever business decisions have to be made, that they'll do what's right, not only for SGC as a brand and as a company going forward, but also to make sure that they maintain this pristine delivery times that they've been giving the hobbies that we all been enjoying, for the future, for the foreseeable future. So, great job to the folks over at SGC. I mean, they're killing it. They're killing it in terms of delivery time. They have the 9.5 Mickey Mantle on the boards, which I'm going to have my man Mike from Bench Clear Media to talk about sometime this week. They're just killing it. They're absolutely killing it. They're in the space. They're in the public. They're out there. They're in the hobby, and that's what you want to see from the company that I think is the number one grading company in this space, hands down. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. As always, appreciate you guys watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, all that good jazz, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Love y'all. Peace.